everyone, and welcome back to the Entertainment Esquire. Today we'll be discussing the kidnapping of NBC Today anchor Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy Guthrie, and the details that you need to know on her ongoing kidnapping. Let's get started. So before I get started, I just want to give my condolences regarding this whole kidnapping situation with the Guthrie family. My heart goes out to them. Their mom is 84 years old, and even if this was not an NBC Today anchor, this would just be a really sad, serious situation. Obviously, the FBI is currently involved, and so we are hoping that she is returned safely. We also want to point out that the Entertainment Esquire typically does more upbeat stories, but we thought it was important because Savannah is a TV journalist that we in fact cover this story because it is ongoing. There have been no suspects and no arrests, just ransom letters. So let's first start off with the facts. So we know that Savannah Guthrie is an NBC Today anchor. Her mom, who's 84 years old, Nancy Guthrie, was kidnapped from her Tucson, Arizona home on February 1st. We know the evidence so far. There was a glove discovered near the home, blood on the front porch, some surveillance footage of the alleged masked person that kidnapped her mom, and then a very curious, interesting Wi-Fi disruption around the time of the kidnapping. There also been some ransom letters that have not been completely verified, which I'll get into in a few minutes. Some additional evidence. On January 11th, 3 weeks before the kidnapping, a neighbor recently came out to say that she recalls a suspicious man looking at the Front Street area near her home. So now I would like to get into the specific timeline of this particular investigation, because I do think the more that they can narrow down the timeline is what's going to allow them to actually figure out what happened in this particular matter. I do think that what's interesting about this timeline, it's very short. They're very short windows, so there's not a lot that you can gather from the outside of this timeline. And so anyway, I'm hoping that this timeline is going to help investigators. So around 5:32, you have her traveling to go see her family for dinner. 9:48, her garage door opening when she returns. 9:50, the door closing. Then at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell disconnects, and then the software detects someone on camera at 2:12. Her pacemaker disconnects at 2:28. Her family checks on her at 11:56, and then the police were called around 12:03. So that's the timeline. Now let's get into these ransom letters, okay? So or ransom notes. TMZ and KOLD 13 news station in early February, so between February 2nd and February 3rd, did receive ransom notes. And they all mention wanting payment in Bitcoin. In fact, one mentioned a $6 million payment. One of the initial letters had a February 5th deadline, and so that was the initial communication. Then there was a second deadline given with a note for February 9th. But again, because it appears that the notes could be verified, nothing was sent. And then on the third, a third note was sent saying that, and this was actually on February 6th. So on February 9th, there was a February 9th deadline given in the second note. And then on February 6th, a third note went out saying that there had some additional information to prove that they were the kidnappers. So they provided some additional information to show that they actually allegedly had Nancy Guthrie. And so, if you're wondering what some of this additional information, it included a description of like a damaged floodlight, allegedly an Apple Watch, just things that if you weren't there, you wouldn't know. And so I think whoever is behind the notes are really trying to prove that they are the actual kidnappers so that they can actually get the money. Then recently a fourth message went out from, as far as I know, an unidentified felon saying he witnessed what happened. It was supposed to be it was intended to just be a burglary. It turned into a kidnapping. And he's actually claiming he can identify the person that took Nancy Guthrie. So it should be really interesting if they're able to identify this felon who's claiming that he knows who did it. I'm sure if it was sent electronically, they are on his IP address as we speak. I want to close this episode out with information regarding the reward in this case. The Guthrie family is offering $1 million reward for actual information that actually leads to them finding her mom. And she's also offering an additional $500,000 to the National Missing and Exploited Kids organization. So there's an additional $500,000 she's just donating because she realizes that she's getting all this attention because she is a TV personality. She is famous. That she comes from a white family. She knows that these things are what are allowing her to have the massive amount of attention to help find her mom. But everybody isn't as lucky, does not have those privileges. And so I think it's wonderful that she's donating this money in addition to offering the $1 million reward. Obviously, if you know any information, you can actually contact the FBI with any tips that, again, could lead to the discovery of her mom. And our prayers are with her. This is a ongoing investigation. This is active. There are no current arrests. There are no current suspects. They just have this ring camera footage and some gloves and some blood splattered on the front. There's not been, and obviously, the ransom letters that authorities are not really confirming whether they've been really truly verified. I do think it's interesting that there is someone that's come forward to say that he actually witnessed it and that perhaps it was supposed to just be a burglary and turn into a kidnapping. That actually sounds real. The story just sounds way too specific for it to not be real. And so I'm hoping that this person didn't mail a letter. I'm hoping it was electronically sent so that maybe they can track this person down and get more information. The only thing is if he was there and he witnessed it and he didn't stop it, he could probably be considered a co-conspirator. And maybe that's why he hasn't identified exactly who he is just yet, because he could also go down. So stay tuned for this coverage. Now some words from Savannah Guthrie herself about her thoughts on what has happened to her mom and also more information about her reward.
Hi there. I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. Worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her. Just missing her. We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800 tip line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. We are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
This has been the Entertainment Esquire. Thank you for watching and listening. You can find me on all my social media handles at The Entertainment ESQ, and on YouTube at The Entertainment Esquire, and of course on all audio platforms where you get your podcast at The Entertainment Esquire. Take care, everyone. Thank you for listening to The Entertainment Esquire. Find our show on YouTube at The Entertainment Esquire and on social media at The Entertainment ESQ. Need a legal consultation? Need a lawyer referral or legal resources for your business or legal matters? Then visit us at theentertainmentesq.com. Until next time, thank you for listening.